Hello, Bills fans and NFL fans around the world. It is kickoff weekend. It is the weekend that all of us have been anticipating since last winter, us Bills fans since December, since we weren't in the playoffs. And this is the best time of year for me, man. How are you doing, Pierre?
Man, you and me both. I'm over here. I can't wait for the night, to be honest with you, man. Just to watch, regular season football. But I'm super excited for Sunday, man. I mean, I'm super duper excited, man. And I know we're going to be going over, some of the news. But I'm all for it, man.
Yeah. Yeah, so today's show, we're going to just do a quick rundown, pregame, Bills versus Patriots, home opener at Ralph Wilson Stadium, Sunday at 1. We're going to bring in a good friend of mine, JB Knox. He runs Knox Sports News. It's a website, a lot of Boston sports and stuff. There's few Patriots fans that I can actually put up with and have a conversation with, and JB is definitely one of those guys. He's very real, understands that they're not the best thing to happen to the world, and let's get into it. All right, we got JB here on the line, and JB, like I said, runs KnoxSportsNews.com. You can check it out and get all your Boston and other sports info. I've done a couple articles for there, my AFC East preview. And how you doing today, JB?
I'm fantastic. How you guys doing?
Great, man.
We're so excited, man. Right, Pierre?
Yeah. I can't wait to the game, man. I know you can't either, JB.
I'm right there with you. I'm right there. I wish it was tonight.
Yeah. Yeah, right. Although there's nothing like a Sunday at 1 o'clock football game, and that's as football opening kickoff as it gets.
That's true. That's true. You can plan your whole day around it instead of having to worry about getting up for work in the morning.
Yeah, exactly. So all of our fans know our opinion on the Bills, and we've been beating it since draft day here on Hanging with the Herd. We haven't had anyone come in and tell us about the Pats. What should we be looking for as Bills fans going up against the 2013 New England Patriots?
Let's see. I would say the thing that I'm most excited about is the defensive line. Actually, the whole front seven, I think, is vastly improved over the last several years for the Patriots, specifically Chandler Jones. Kind of reminds me of a Jason Pierre-Paul circa Giants Super Bowl 2011 team.
Yep.
I like the addition of Tommy Kelly. Add some size to the line, so it causes kind of problems deciding who to double team between he and Vince Wilfork. I'm not sure, they were real strong on rush defense last year, but Fred Jackson did pick them apart in that November game. Actually, the whole team did. I think Buffalo put up 162 yards rushing, a couple of TDs. So that does concern me, despite the fact that we've had some success against the run. Positive signs I'm looking at, obviously Belichick versus rookie quarterbacks favors, at least the trends favor us, Patriots in that aspect of it. But I'm curious to see what Manuel brings to the table, actually. He's a little more mobile than Fitzpatrick was, and it's not like Fitzy didn't, light us up. I think he had like 340, somewhere in that range last year.
Yep.
Always concerned about our secondary, so regardless of the fact that there's a rookie quarterback starting, anything can happen. I mean, Johnson's a beast. Talib's going to have his hands full, whether it's zone coverage or man-to-man. And then the opposite side of the field is wide open. I expect a lot of tight ends over the middle to be pretty available all day for you guys, 8 to 10 yard little check routes, things like that.
Is Gronk going to play on Sunday?
Gronk, no, I don't expect Gronk to play. I'd say, I'm guessing Falcons, week 4. We took him off Belichick took him off the PUP list, just so he didn't have to wait the whole 6 weeks, basically. There's been, I'd say, overly excited media reports saying that you may see him week 2 or 3, but I'd be willing to bet 4. Best case scenario.
Yeah, and for Patriots fans out there too, I know he's a real dominant player, but the Patriots are one of those teams that don't necessarily have to win their first 5 games to have a dominant season. So let him be 100, 110% healthy versus rushing a guy like that back, because you're going to need him in December, January, and moving into the playoffs. I mean, you don't want another injury to occur by rushing him back when he's 85, 90%.
I agree. Especially not, week 2 we have the Jets, Week 3,
Right.
Tampa Bay. I think the Patriots can afford to sit Gronk during those games.
Yeah, you hope so.
I would hope at least.
Right.
The one thing that concerns me, and if you caught any of that Detroit Lions preseason game, I like Sudfeld, the undrafted rookie tight end. I think one of the Patriots' problems, they've always been real strong on turnover ratio. My gut's telling me that there's going to be some cases of fumbleitis this year. Blount had some problems with that in previous years with Tampa Bay. Ridley's been benched before for having fumbling issues, and Sudfeld definitely didn't show experience knowing when to switch sides of his body with the ball.
Yeah.
So I'm a little worried about that, to be honest with you.
Well, and I think, anything can happen any given Sunday, they say. I was just telling Pierre, I'm not really expecting the Bills to come in and beat up on the Patriots, but I think there is a possibility of a victory for Buffalo, and it's going to come with pressuring Tom Brady, exotic looks, making up for the deficiencies, because our defensive backfield's also not that good. But if we can create the pressure and make him get it out a little quicker and don't leave those guys out on an island, then they are athletic, so I think they can hang with guys for a little bit. So it's going to come down to that turnover ratio, though. If we can create those 3 to 4 opportunities for the offense to get the ball in good field position, we've played you guys close the last couple of years. It comes down to a couple field goals, So turnovers are going to be a big story.
I'm definitely not underestimating anybody.
Yeah.
I've been around too long to even think about that. I know a lot of my fan base, who I disagree with on a regular basis for just being what I refer to as pink hats.
Mm-hmm.
They're talking blowout. They talk blowout every week, and then it's an excuse-laden evenings when upsets get pulled. And the best way to stop Brady, he's not mobile.
Right.
He can step up into the pocket, so you don't want to come at him from the blind side or the edges.
Right.
Because you're kind of forcing him into his strength. And the Pats have had problems with their right guard. Wendell hasn't been spectacular at the center position in the preseason. Conley's iffy. So I think if you guys, maybe bring like a split defensive line front with the linebackers in between your two tackles, that could pose some problems. I think that definitely could pose some problems. Sudfeld's not a great pass blocker, so there's a definite weakness there when they have him in the backfield.
Yeah. Now, I see you guys drafted Aaron Dobson, but it looks like the undrafted guy is having a field day out there, man. You mind talking about Kendrell Tompkins?
Yeah. I'm pretty excited about him, actually. It caught me off guard. I try to give myself credit for knowing as much as I possibly can, and he kind of snuck up on me. Runs some pretty solid routes. Definitely has some good hands. He seems to be someone that I don't know if he's going to get a lot of yards after the carry. He gets off the line, pretty well. He's not really on a strength position, more with footwork and accurate route running. But I don't see him really breaking a lot of anything that he catches on a slant. I don't see him creating a lot of his own yardage after that. He's one that when he has his best games, it'll be 8, 9 catches, 110 yards, which is great.
Right.
But I'm not convinced yet that he's going to stretch the defense to the point where you've got to play deep coverage.
Sure.
But definitely excited, considering that he's an undrafted rookie. Really, not much to complain about.
Right. Although in the Detroit game, I saw him break a couple go routes on their cornerbacks.
He definitely did. He definitely did. With Detroit secondary, though, I take that with a little bit with a grain of salt, just because once you get back into their second-tier defense, it's pretty Civ-like.
Yeah. Well, I want Bills fans and all AFC East fans to caution. I've heard a lot of talk this offseason about, Welker's gone and Hernandez is gone and Gronk's hurt. But the more I watched a few of those preseason games for the Patriots, and the more I see you guys, there is actually still a very good amount of depth at wide receiver for you guys with Amendola, Edelman, Dobson, Tompkins. I mean, those are guys that can get open, catch the ball. And the Patriots were never the kind of team that had guys busting out big play after big play. It was meticulous, get down the field, let Brady do his thing. And you got Tom Brady, who's like Michael Jordan. You could put Jed Bushler out there, and he made Jed Bushler look like a good player. That's what Tom Brady does.
That's the main constant, like you said. Whenever you have a quarterback like a Brady, who makes everyone else look good.
Yeah, look at us. We've been looking.
I mean,
we've been looking
at the Super Bowl with people like Jermaine Wiggins and David Patton.
Right.
So it's certainly possible. It's a very schematic-heavy offense. As much as Patriots fans don't like to admit, I love Brady. I think he's fantastic, top 5 in my opinion in the history of quarterbacks. But he definitely gets a lot of help from the system and the schemes. So as long as the receivers cooperate and run accurate routes, things should work out.
Yeah.
As Aaron pointed out when he wrote an excellent AFC East preview for the Knox Sports News website, and I agree with him. I think the Patriots are actually going to be favoring a little bit more to the run. I think they have a strong. They handle it kind of like a baseball bullpen. There's usually about 5 or 6 backs, 5 specifically this year, and Belichick kind of schemes them based on what the defense is giving. If the defense is playing fast, he'll go with Blount to try to power, and vice versa. If you've got a quick, speedy defensive line or front 7, which tends to bring in safeties, then he'll go with a shifty style back. So I think that I've kind of been hoping for a smash mouth style for years, even with Brady on the team. That's just the kind of football I like watching, personally.
Yeah.
So I think they're leaning a little bit more in that direction now.
Yeah, and I've been telling people with fantasy leagues to go grab Ridley. I think Ridley's going to have a good year. Even Vereen, I think he'll get a lot of end zone, goal line type stuff. And Blunt's another guy that could get a lot of touchdowns for you. I think they are going to work those guys like a bullpen, like you said.
Yeah, that's usually the process.
Right.
What's going on with Bird, by the way? I was curious about that. He's missing the game. He's got plantar fasciitis. Is that?
Yeah. He. So news today was we won't get into it too deep because Bills fans are torn up about it, and we're so excited about Week 1 we don't want to really fuss around with Bird too much. But news was that his agent is trying to orchestrate a trade. So
he's not happy about the franchise tender, I've been hearing.
Yeah, he's not happy about the franchise tender. He'd like top paid safety, if not in the top 2 to 3 paid safety. Rumors are Bills offered him a couple million under. Is that right, Pierre? A couple million under top paid? Yeah, that's what I heard too. And so that's going to play out. I think they knew, though. They drafted 2 safeties in the draft this year, and people were asking why, and they didn't really say it was because of the Bird thing, but I think they knew it was going to become messy at some point. And that's just the way the business is. You have this franchise tender. Nobody likes to be franchised.
No. It might be a smart move by your front office. It almost, possibly they signed him so that they could trade him for picks.
Something.
Whereas if they didn't sign him, those picks weren't coming.
Right. And then you have a second round. He was a second round pick, so that's essentially a wasted second round pick if you don't get anything for him.
Yeah, I mean, it's always tough because whenever you trade a Pro Bowl player, you tend to not really get, back anything in return. I mean, you might get picks, but there's no guarantee that,
Yeah, Marshawn Lynch, what was that, a 4 and a 6? We got for Lynch, and that's a perennial Pro Bowl.
Yeah, football trades don't seem to work out that well when it comes to that. I don't recall exactly what we got for Seymour when we traded them years ago to the Raiders.
Now, what about Talib? That was.
I don't believe it was anything, major significant. I think it was a 4th rounder and something, some other piece of garbage.
Now, that's the thing, too, is I don't see a ton of in-season trades, and they're trying to get it before the trade deadline. It's not like basketball or baseball where you play left field for the Dodgers, you can go play left field, for the Yankees next week. It's football's a little different. There's not a ton of mid-season trades, but Talib was a mid-season trade last year. What did you guys end up trading for him?
For who was it?
Talib, the cornerback. Yeah, Talib.
Oh, Talib. Yeah, I think that was a 6th rounder.
Yeah, see. And that's what I've been trying to tell. A lot of people are saying, Bills could get a first-round pick for this guy, and I said, you're going to be tough pressed because a team also knows he wants a max deal. So you're asking a team to give up a first-round pick and a max deal for a guy that now has these plantar fasciitis as well.
Yeah, that news definitely doesn't help matters at all.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
But I do think that if worst come to worst, we're going to have to take what we can get because it will be harder to trade him during the offseason because then we have to sign him again, and that franchise tag will be a lot more than what it is now, and teams aren't willing to pay $10 million for a safety. So.
And I'm of the mindset that we have young guys. Let those young guys get the experience. If he's going to be a cancer in the locker room, just get him out of get what you can for him and get him out of there.
Yeah, addition by subtraction.
Exactly. So
I can't say I disagree with that.
What was the most recent line you saw for this game this weekend? I saw 9.5. Patriots 9.5.
Yeah, I think it opened at 7.5, went up to 10, and now it's down to 9.5.
What's your over/under on that?
The over/under is 51, which I think is kind of high. Personally.
Yeah.
I know that. I think it was 37-31 last time they met. That was in New England. I tend to think that early in the season, defense is ahead of offense because it's more of a reactionary position.
Yeah.
Where it's not so much timing. So I don't know how high scoring this game's going to be. I could see mid-40s. I don't know if it's going to touch 51.
And I'm assuming you are predicting the Pats to come out of Ralph with the win.
It looks like from what I gather, from what I've been researching on some wagering sites, it's 65%, 65-35 in favor of the Pats right now.
Okay.
Public.
Yep.
Public is betting.
Yep.
Which, like I said, you get up in that near that anything above 7, especially on the road. That tends to bother me. Personally, I wouldn't touch it.
Yeah. Now, Pierre, what's your prediction for Sunday? On the record.
On the record, I say that the Bills will win this. On the record, 27-19.
Ooh.
Yeah.
See,
I think that we'll be able to pressure Brady and hopefully hold him to 19 points. That's bold, huh?
That's pretty bold. Well, I think it's tough to keep the Pats under 20. I think it's tough to keep the Pats under 30. I think if we're going to beat the Pats, it's going to be a shootout. And like I said, is we're going to have to bring a high number of turnovers. The only thing I have going in favor for the Bills is I'm going to be there. I can guarantee you I'm going to lose my voice by the end of this game. This place is going to be rocking. The whole city is ready for this game, so
I heard it was tailgating preseason games at 8 a.m. on a Friday. So
yeah, man,
I'm pretty impressed with that.
They open up the lot tonight, I think, at 8 and let people start coming in and parking tonight for Sunday. So I'm going to be there. I'm going to pull an upset city. I think we'll win, just maybe by like a field goal, but it's going to be in the 30s for sure.
I'm going 27-21 Pats.
All right.
I think it'll be tight early. I think the Pats are going to have a couple of red zone problems, which will lead to those 2 field goals. And then what I feel like is Buffalo's going to try to force the run, eat some clock, keep the up-tempo offense off the field, which is why the first half will be a little bit more low-scoring. If the Pats go up, say, 13-3-ish, Buffalo might have to open it up a little bit. And if that happens in the third quarter, I think that's when we'll start seeing a little bit more points.
Yeah.
But I'm sticking 27-21. I think it'll be. I don't think the Pats are covering that 9.5, and I got to go with my home team, obviously.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You got to fly your colors proud, man. Now, do you want to do a quick spot about the website that you're running? Let our guys know what you're up to.
Yeah, absolutely. We've just started at the end of June. Looking to recruit more writers, of course, to cover more teams. Right now, of course, we have the Hangin with the Herd videos on there. Aaron will be posting some periodical pieces. I hear rumors about some venom being spat at Mr. Goodell,
Yeah.
which I'm sure he deserves. My cousin Rick is a former D1 offensive lineman who was roommates with the youngest Ishmael. He's going to every single Dallas Cowboys game this year and has some sideline access, so we should see some cool stuff from him. And then other than that, a little bit of diversity, some a Yankees fan. I cover mostly Red Sox, Patriots, and hoping to grow, hoping to expand. We'll see what happens.
Awesome. Well, we'll leave the information for your Twitter handle and the website URL in the description of the video. And, check them out, show them some love, and show the Herd some love, man, because we're getting shared on that page, too. So.
Will do. Will do.
Absolutely. Anything you want to send the fans off with, Pierre?
I just want to say thanks for having me on. Best of luck to Bills fans. Keep it classy, as we will try to. I can't speak for the rest of my fan base, unfortunately. But definitely best of luck. And even as a Pats fan, I definitely want to watch C.J. Spiller and Steve Johnson because they're pretty exciting players, and I'm curious to see what they bring to the table this year.
Awesome, man. Well, we'll follow up with you probably in a couple weeks and see where the Pats are at.
Excellent. Look forward to it, guys. Take care.
Awesome. Thanks, JB.
There it is. Well, all right, guys. Awesome, well, guys. Definitely appreciate you guys watching the show. Let's go Bills.
Bills.